Hey guys, and good morning. I am outside enjoying this beautiful morning. Let's see if I can catch the sun. Not so well. Before I have to get ready to go to work this afternoon, you know, a lot of times that we think life should be a certain way. Like we should have certain things, and if things are a little bit unorganized or chaotic, or unfinished or unpolished, that we might get embarrassed around other people whose lives seem to be that way. I know I have friends, I can see their houses on Instagram or Facebook or what have you, and everything is so polished and it looks so good, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and they work as much as I do. I just don't understand it. But people are different. I have always strived in a little bit of organized chaos. I've always been one to try to do a whole lot of my projects myself, and even if it was kind of a major project, I kind of wanted to do it myself. Things like electricity and extensive plumbing, no, I get somebody else to do that. But as far as little things around the house, I try to do that. You can see behind me, that barn. I built that barn myself, and look at that stupid wallboard. That is awful. That wallboard, y'all, I made the poorest decision on that. I had this fantasy that I was going to put the wallboard up and it was going to look great, and then I was going to trim it out and I was going to paint it white or paint it red or what have you. That did not work out. That wallboard is heavy as crap. So probably what I'll end up doing is taking off that wallboard, and we'll end up using it on maybe a smaller structure that I build, and put maybe rough cut lumber on there. But I'm kind of proud of that stupid barn. It's huge. I think it measures to be like a 32 foot by 40 foot, but I can store all kind of stuff in there. The horses go in there to get out of the sun. It's just super nice. But I start projects and then have a hard time finishing them because I get distracted and I start something new, or because I am trying to do them myself, I run into other issues. As you can see, I need to bush hog and clean this place up. But guess what? Every time I turn around, it's either pouring down raining or something else happened. I don't know if any of you saw it on the video I posted on Facebook about my horses getting out, but the other night I was sitting down to do some computer work and my horses got out. So then I had to come day before yesterday and run electric fencing. So that took up a whole day. And now the horses are mad at me because obviously they found out that it is electric. I have got to get a new roof, and I need to put new windows and siding on my house. My house is 26 years old, so it has a lot of junk wrong with it. But I am also trying to do the Dave Ramsey thing, so I'm liquidating my debt, and I was trying to save up cash to put a roof on. And I was like, Lord, do you really want me to pay cash for this roof, or can I wait a little bit? Please let me know. And last week it started raining, and I was at the television doing something, and it started raining on my head. I said, okay, Lord, I understand. The rain stopped. I ran to Walmart, got some great stuff. Well, I think it was the Red Devil brand. Climbed up in my attic, sealed the hole, sealed the crack where I could see it was coming in. And I said, okay, Lord, I understand. But I did build this deck. The little deck that you see was kind of with that first post that holds that cover up was already there, and I extended the deck. I was proud of that. It's a little cattywampus, but I had a guy check it, and he did say it's up to code. But there was a big boulder underground that I could not get out of the ground, and so one of the posts is kind of cattywampus, so I had to work around that. But anyway, it worked out. I have so many other little projects to do. My poor grandkids. I told them I wanted to start a tree house with them. And my fantasy was that we were going to build this tree house, and all the little nieces and nephews and my grandkids could come over here and play. But as you can see, I still have to put the walls on in the roof. Now, I did want to get that started a little faster than I was prepared to, because the decking or the flooring on that tree house was actually the boards that came off of my mom and dad's pier down here on the river. Now, the emotional part of that is my children's feet and my nieces and nephews' feet have been playing on those boards since birth. So my goal was to get those pulled up, cut, measured, and put on there while my dad was still healthy enough to do so. My dad passed away August, a year and a half ago. And I was so thankful that before he passed away, we were able to get this started. And I have a lot of pictures of my dad putting those boards down, because I felt like it was very important that my dad have a part of that. And so that worked out really well. But of course, I got distracted and started other things and hadn't finished it yet. So that's on my to-do list as well. And my yard is terribly positioned, so it's kind of like downhill. So I have to work with that all the time and try to keep everything from washing away. I'll show you my mom and dad's place. I just walked through a spider web. So this is my mom and dad's place, right down there on the river. Now, the interesting thing about that, and I'll keep this short because I don't want to bore you guys too much. The interesting thing about that one is that was an old fishing camp years and years ago when my granddaddy was a young man. He and his brother would go fish out of that cabin. And when my mom and dad inherited the property, they wanted to build a new house down there. And they were told they could not build a new house, but they sure could improve the existing structure. So the existing structure is their dining room and part of their kitchen. So my dad, being a Christian man, he obeyed the rules and built them a house around that. And I thought that was really cool. So my mom lives down there, and she and I have a great relationship. We kind of share duties and try to help each other out the best we can, because she is living there alone because my father passed away, like I said, and I live here alone, being single. But I also started that deck last year, right before I realized I had to have a roof. And the way I typically do things is I'll do it a little bit along and finish it out. But I said, okay, I got to put a halt to that for a little while I save up the money to pay for this roof in cash, because I don't want to have to go in debt for that. So as you can see, life is messy. Life is unorganized. This life is unstructured a lot of times. But it is fun. And the key is to eat the best you can, stay healthy, retain peace with the Lord, and keep inner peace in whatever it is that you're doing. And don't let it affect you, what people think about what you're doing and how long it takes you to get to a certain place, because all of those things at the very end doesn't matter. Because if you don't have inner peace, your attitude will be affected, the way you think will be affected, which is, I guess, in essence, your attitude, and the way you feel will be affected. So just try to live life the best you can. And it reminds me of my poor horses. They would probably hope that I would get them some greener pastures, because when they got out the other night, that was what they were looking for, literally greener pastures. Y'all have a blessed day.